everyone and welcome to today's video. If you don't know, I got these claws. I got these extra large acrylics to see what life is like with them and to figure out how you survive with them. To answer all my and your questions on how do you do blank with these type of nails. I also gave you guys the opportunity on Instagram and TikTok to make your suggestions. So if you don't already follow me there, definitely go check it out for future videos. But let's take a look at what these nails look like up close so that you can see the craftsmanship, the color, the decoration, and all of that. So this is what they look like from the sides, from the top, from the bottom, and also what the C curve at the tip looks like. I ended up just getting them in a square shape. But the one thing I want to show you is that the middle finger and ring finger overlap, which was quite frustrating because those two nails hit each other a lot. Next, I want to show you up close what the cuticles look like and the edges of the acrylics. At this point, the nails were only about 4 days old, but they were already lifting and starting to look old. I do talk more about this in another video, but I also want to show you what the sides of the nails look like. You can see they weren't necessarily filed completely flat. You can also see how the nails don't really have a uniform shape necessarily. It probably wasn't the best idea to get a solid color because you can see that. If I had a more messy pattern or color on them, you probably wouldn't notice that. But what you will notice is if you look at the bottom, you'll be able to see where they added the second nail extension. There's no way to hide that, so I wasn't able to pick any type of design where you could kind of see through the nails, even though I thought that would be really cool. You can also now see the dotted pattern that I got on 2 of my nails. I just wanted something other than solid color and we decided on doing dots. The dots were the same color as the rest of the nails and we just put it on a nude background. Nothing too fancy there, but the last thing I want to show you nice up and close is exactly how long my nails were. All of them were between 6 and 7 centimeters long, which is insane. My nails were about as long as my fingers. And just to put it in perspective for you, here I'm holding a regular mascara tube so that you can see what that looks like in my hand compared to the nails. I have to say it's been an experience having these things. It was quite the process getting them. So if you want to see how I got them, I did make a video out of how I had them done. And I think you should definitely watch that video if you're interested in getting these type of nails yourself. There's a lot of information there you might need. But I already did a full face of makeup with these nails. Can you believe I did this? I like this. Very proud of myself. So if you want to see how this happened, there's also that video for you. But let's move on to doing things with my hands. I made a whole list of things for us to try, so without further ado, let's get started. How do you open a small package with nails like these? I have a little noisy bag of chippies here. So I'm going to flatten it out between my finger and thumb. I'm going to use my knuckles a lot, you'll see. And I'm going to drop it. I'm going to pinch it on the one side. And on the other side, it's a little bit awkward, but it's not that bad. And I am just going to pull until it opens. It's a little awkward. You either have to rearrange your hands to fully open it, but 100% doable. And now I have these bolt-in tweezers to get a chippy out. I'm going to try and brush out my hair. That is definitely something I can still do with my hair. I can even take out these stems using my thumb and forefinger, which is something I do a lot. And then I can just brush out my hair. The problem is these nails can't like go through my hair the way I usually would. Like they can go in, but like you don't really want weight on them or anything. So you don't want to like pull through your hair. So I very carefully get my thumbs in underneath and bring my hair to the side like so, and then grip the brush like so and brush it down my arm. That's how I usually do that. I'm holding my thumb up and my pinky as well. My pinky can technically go down, but I usually hold it up and then I just brush. This is not too bad. I just don't want my nails to catch in my hair, so I am careful of that. Now, I have not been able to figure out how to make a ponytail, and I'm going to try, but first I'm going to show you what I've been doing with my hair recently to keep it out of my face, because it gets in my face, is I use a clip. I grip it like this, and then I scoop my hair back and tie it back there, and then kind of push the rest of my hair back, and then also catch it in the clip. The whole time just holding it like this. So it's not like the cutest thing ever, but it's absolutely functional. And then if loose pieces are coming out, these small things definitely come to the rescue. My hair's not been looking cute since I got these nails because these nails have not been hair compatible. I don't know what to do about it, but I'm going to show you the struggle today. I am going to try and make a ponytail. And I looked up how are you supposed to do it with these nails, and I have not figured it out, but hopefully we can figure it out now. Now I'm going to go underneath. And I'm going to bring it up. This part is still easy enough. This is the usual thing where you just lift and scoop. Can brush it out to smooth it out as well. Just need to not knock my nail there. I'm then going to take the hair tie, get my nails through. I'm going to smooth my hand on the top and take it so the one with the elastic is here. I'm going to feed my thumb through all the way to my actual thumb and pull through, making sure to clear my nails. That part is easy. Then nail in from the top, twist around, carefully feed through the thumb again, and then again grip over, feed through carefully, somehow, miraculously, to catch it and pull it all the way through, making sure to clear my nails. There we go, not too bad. And then I'm going to repeat that process, which seems fine and dandy now, but I don't know how to finish it because, number one, I'm struggling to like hook in here because now my finger is stuck in my hair. But as it gets tighter, my nails can't clear through the hair tie. Okay, now I really did get stuck on my hair. Let's smooth that out a bit. And I want my ponytail to be tight so it actually like lasts. So I don't know what to do. And see, now my thumbnail's like very barely coming through. And even though I'd want to put it through one more time, I can't. It's not going to work. See, it's already tight here getting this in. So I'm going to try. But this piece is not going to make it over these nails. And then there's like no way to pull this through. So I'm just going to have a semi-loose ponytail, which at least it's up. It's just not as tight as I would like it to be. But there's a ponytail. Very proud. It does feel like it's gonna last actually. It's not that bad. And I guess I could just put a few more hair ties around it. But yeah, I'm not getting it as tight and as secure as I usually get it, which is kind of a bummer. But I'm very proud of myself. That's a ponytail. I haven't been able to do that in a few days. While we are on hair, I usually sleep with my hair in a braid, and that has been hard. Oh my goodness, braiding my hair. Because I know what I'm doing behind my head usually, but I cannot tell what's going on because I don't know where my nails are going. So I'm going to see if I can turn around so you can see what I'm doing and also so that I can see where I'm going wrong, but I'm going to try my best to make a basic 3-strand braid just off the back of my head so my hair is out of my way when I'm sleeping. Okay, so hair is back. Hair in my hand. I need to split it into 3 strands. These nails are kind of like curved and they don't really hook that nice to split my hair, but I kind of have to deal because that's all I have. So I'm going to get it through there and try and get both thumbs through the same hole somewhat, and then put it over. And then the same thing here. That does not feel even. Let me just drop this piece and try and get a more even split. But now I need to get the parts separated from each other. Easier said than done. And now I lost track of which one is which. I think this is the middle one. So that's gonna go over like that, and then I grip that and try and straighten that out. Pick up the other side. And usually I don't drop my hair when I'm braiding, but I cannot tell what is going on back here. And it feels like it is like super messy because I think my nails are catching on things when I'm doing this. This is definitely an arm workout. But I think this is far enough down that I can pull it over my shoulder so I can turn back around and face you somewhat. See, I'm not like picking up the entire section. That's why it's such a mess. But braid it and just try and keep it separate, kind of. This is a bit easier because I can like kind of see what I'm doing now. I don't have to feel. But in the back, oh my gosh. So I will not be trying a French braid today. That is just not within the realm of possibilities. You can hear a lot of like nail clanking going on, which that is something I learned really quickly, is everyone's gonna hear that you have nails. So I hope the sound doesn't annoy you because you're gonna have to get used to it really quick. Okay, she's a mess, but it's also a braid. Like, my hair is actually in a braid, and I actually did that myself somehow, miraculously. You see, I feel like this is something that if I had these nails like my whole life, I would get used to doing this, like I'd figure it out, but oh, this is not easy. It's one of those things you'll have to learn. Now to tie off the end of the braid, catch with the thumb, pull it through. Let's see how close I can get. Oh, my thumb is stuck here. If my problem with making a ponytail was I couldn't get it tight enough at the end, I feel like I'm gonna have the same issue here. Because again, my nails need to actually pass through. But let's see. We're here down to the small piece. So I'm going to get a nail in there to just get a grip. And I'm going to do a twist. I'm going to kind of grab it, very uncomfortably so. Try and get another nail in on this side and push it over. And now at least there is a loop. Nope, no there's not. I'm going to pull out this finger. And I don't want my thumb to get stuck in here. So I'm going to try and pass my thumb through under the other side so that I'm still like looped in my hair, but not like the end piece is still here so that I can pull my hair through, which does work. It's just like super messy, but I braided my hair. That's an achievement for me today. Now, a dumb thing that I don't know how to do is like certain hand gestures that I do. Like I do this a lot just to kind of like keep them out of the way. I don't know what I used to do with my hands. It's one of those things that when you think about it, you have no idea. But I go like okay a lot, you know. It comes from that TikTok thing that's like mint. I still do that. But I don't know how I want to do it because this looks pretty dumb. You know how it like crisscrosses? It looks almost like an and symbol to me. But this, definitely not much better. That does not look good. That is not what I'm going for. And this, I feel like this is an alternative, but I also don't like it. So I feel like this is probably the best, but it's like just not what I want it to be, what it used to be. I do thumbs up as well, which like feels a little dumb to me now because like look at how like skew it goes. It like accentuates it, and it's just like this super long thing. But you know, you can definitely see what I'm doing, I guess. Clapping sucks. Like I can clap for you. Like I can do that, but it hurts so bad because these things all have momentum, and the shock of them stopping hurts the nail bed on all of them. So on all of them, I can feel that force. It's like I'm slamming a wall and it like hurts real fast. So you'll get like a little gentle applause or something, but you ain't getting anything else. So I was like, well, snapping, can I snap with these? Because I know snapping is the sound of your finger hitting your palm. So if I do this, it's supposed to still make the sound. And I was like, let's try this out. How bad could it be? And it works. Wow, that was like such a flop. I was like set up and it works and then fails. Snapping does work, see? But it's the sound of your nail hitting your other nail and not the sound of your finger hitting your palm the way it usually is. So it sounds different, but it's pretty loud. And for some reason I can only do it with my left hand. I think this nail like overlaps, but this one doesn't really, so... Oh, there we go. I can snap with both hands, but it sounds different and it hurts a little bit as well. So like, I guess we'll just have to like in spirit be like, congratulations, because you can't do any of those things. Thumb war is entirely out of the question. That is not happening, as you can imagine. I can hold someone's hand. Can I have a hand, please? Like, I can still do this. I can still do that. Like, that does work. It doesn't hurt. Does it hurt?
Mm-mm.
No. So I can still hold someone's hand. Can I shake your hand still? Yes, I can. I should just like try not to stab you there. But yeah, hands still work.
No high fives.
High fives, not cool. Again, the same force thing. It's not great. I don't want a fist bump. What is this thing? Like, tuck it away to protect the nails. I can definitely still use rings, but this like feels a little ridiculous because I first have to like properly place it in this hand, and then it's like a mile to get this thing on. That feels a bit ridiculous, but it definitely still works. My rings definitely fit over my nails. That's not an issue, but that is quite something. I can open bottles pretty easily. Again, just between the thumb and the finger like that. Grip and twist, no biggie there. I can also twist it back on. The only thing to watch out for so that your nails don't collide with your nails, but that's usually fine. And then I can pop it open, pop it shut, no biggie. But then you have cans. I got this Sprite can for this very purpose so I can show you how I open it, but this is mint and lemon lime flavored. I haven't tried it. So I think that was a cool thing to find, but I need to lift this tab without using my nails because you're not supposed to use your nails as tools. I'm not gonna lie, I do like a little bit, but if I do, I always support the nail bed because you don't want pressure on your nail bed. Not only does it hurt, but I don't want to rip it off. So if I use my nail, I press on the nail bed and then use it like a tool. It's almost like I'm holding a thing to work with. And I do that even if I'm like just scratching myself. It really helps support it so you can get in there and get an itch. But I need to get in here and open this tab. And getting in there with my thumb doesn't work because it already hits my nail there. If you have more stiletto nails, I'm sure you can get in there enough, but this side of my finger doesn't work. This one doesn't work. That one doesn't work, and my pinky definitely doesn't. My knuckle also doesn't fit into this little gap, so that is not great. So I'd have to use a tool to do this, which is easy enough. I mean, I have this ring on hand. I can just fit that in underneath and just push that open. That is definitely an option. I can use my keys. I can use anything else I have on hand, or I can just like ask someone to open it for me. But if I really don't have anything, I would support the nail and use the corner of the nail to just give it a little lift. And once it's lifted enough, I can then grab it with my thumb and then push it further. And usually that is as far as I open my cans because I like drinking out of them like this. Enough comes out, but I can just do this. And I enjoy that because like if you're in the car or something, it doesn't spill if you knock it over. But it also prevents like bees from getting in or someone putting something in your drink. So I kind of like doing that. But I have to open it all the way. So for that, I'm just going to have to do this. and then you have an open can. You really have to be okay with potentially using tools to avoid using your nails because you want to protect them as much as possible, not just so they look nice, but so that you don't hurt yourself. But let me bring my camera down so we can go out in the world and we can look at everything else. And then you can get a good close-up of how I open doors. So let's go. Before we go, I'm going to show you how I take off my makeup. I can still get in and take my lashes off, that's not that bad, but I did have a little bit of difficulty trying to get this makeup white out of this container. First I had to pop open the lid and then somehow pinch that little tab that prevents them from drying out, and then again somehow pinch the wet wipe to pull it out. I can't pinch with the tip of my nails because they are curved, so that was a bit of a struggle, but when I got it out it wasn't that bad. I can still use my hand for the most part, especially if my hand is flat, so I just flattened the makeup wipe on my hand and then went to town on my face, working my way around from my eyes, my cheeks, my lips, and eventually my eyebrows. When I did need to get into more detailed areas like the corners of my eyes and making sure I get everything out from under my eyes, I wrapped the makeup wipe around my knuckle, tucked away my nail so I don't stab myself in the eye, and then rubbed where I needed to rub. And then of course, because a makeup wipe never gets everything off, I went in and washed my face afterwards. After washing my face, I typically put on face cream, and I had this new container that I had to open. I initially wanted to lift an edge up with my fingers so I can grab that and pull, but that was glued down and didn't want to lift, so I ended up having to puncture it with my nails. As I mentioned, I support the nail bed whenever I use my nail as a tool, and then I luckily got through that tinfoil and managed to pull it off. The only issue with that is I ended up getting cream under my nails, and you don't see it as quickly as you think you would, so you have to pay attention to stuff like that and make sure there isn't anything that gets stuck. But I still managed to get the cream on my face and rub it in, and I also managed to put cream on my hands. It takes a little bit longer and you have to pay a little bit more attention because you need to take note of where your nails are going, but it's nothing too hard, and I was capable of closing the container as well. On to other daily tasks, I was still able to press the button that opens my gate. Thank goodness for that. I could also still put the seatbelt on myself while the car is standing still so that I know exactly where my nails are going, but I managed to clip it in, and by just using my knuckle I was able to undo it as well. I can still plug in and out cables. I just need to make sure I don't knock my nail against the wall. Because these nails are so long, you need to kind of adjust your spatial awareness around your hands so that you don't accidentally knock them against things. And that takes a few days to get used to. I do have to use both my hands when I'm trying to open the door so that I can actually get into the door handle. It's a little bit of an awkward space. And it was also a little strange opening and closing the window, but I could still kind of do it. Now, unlocking my front door was a bit of a mission. I decided to do it with one hand, so I had to readjust the keys in my hand. But once I got it in my hand, I could successfully twist the key and unlock the door. Working with jewelry was actually easier than I expected in the sense that I could actually do it. I initially thought there was no way I would be able to put on earrings, but even though it took about 10 minutes to get my earrings in and it took a lot of moving around, pinning down my ear and a lot of other strange movements, I did successfully get my earring in, and I was very proud of myself when I did that. And then luckily taking it out is pretty easy. You can just pull and take it out. Hooking and unhooking a necklace was pretty difficult, but not because my nails got in the way of the hook, but rather my nails got tangled in my hair. So I had to put the necklace on, spin it around, put the hook in front so that I can actually attach it there. And even though it looks like I'm struggling with this part, I'm not struggling any more than I usually do when I try and hook a necklace like this. The biggest struggle was really just my hair. Now I wanted to see how my cat felt about these nails. Initially she was a little unsure about me rubbing her, but after a day or two she kind of just wanted to eat them the whole time. I have no idea why. She would sniff at them and then she would start munching them, and then sometimes she would like try and play attack my hand. I don't understand why that's what she did, but at least she still let me give her rubs. Moving on, I can still open and close the fridge door. I just use that top corner, and I can still plug things in and out of sockets. Just make sure you don't yank too hard and accidentally knock yourself against something. When it comes to picking up clothes, I try using the knuckle method, where I just use two fists to pinch everything and pick it up that way, because you can't grip anything with the nails. Putting on a jacket is quite a mission because you have to tuck your nails together and then carefully get them through the sleeve. But once it's on, you get to struggle with the buttons. That was quite a mission. I had to use the side of my fingers and kind of manipulate the fabric that it pushed itself through rather than me pushing it through. So that definitely took a minute to kind of figure out, and the smaller the button, the harder it is. I'm glad this top had relatively large buttons. But luckily, everything seems to be easier to undo than it is to do. So even though it took long to button up a shirt, at least I can pull it off pretty quickly. And I don't feel like I'm trapped in it. Zips were relatively easy to work as long as the zip didn't get caught on anything, which is just annoying in general, but I could slip it in and then pull it up, no problem there, and then just zip it back down. Would definitely recommend zips with these nails. Moving on to my phone. I had to use my knuckles instead of my fingertips while going on my phone because I had to use my fingers so flat that it's such a large surface area touching my phone that I often don't hit the right button. I definitely missed the precision of my fingertips at this point, but I was successful somewhat at swipe texting. It's just a lot of going back and correcting things, but whenever I wanted to like draw on my story, I would just use my knuckle instead. Next, I wanted to try working on my laptop to see if I could still do that. And next, I wanted to try working on my computer, and for the most part, I could still do that. I just had to change the position of my hands a lot. You don't typically want to type with the nails, especially if you're not like on a sturdy surface, because if you're sitting with your laptop on your lap or something like that and you don't hit like straight on, it's kind of uncomfortable because you're putting force on your nail at like a skew angle, and that's not great. So I don't like typing with the tips of the nails. I prefer typing with my finger pads. However, I can't reach the top like 2-3 rows of keys on my laptop because my nails are so long, they're hitting the screen. So there was a lot of me typing flat and then lifting my hand to type from the top on the tip of my nails and then going back flat. But even though it's different, I definitely could still type. I couldn't hold a pen the normal way. I had to hold it more sideways because my fingertips can't be pointing in the direction of the tip of the pen the way it usually is. And I think that shows in the fact that my handwriting is more messy when I write like this. It would probably take a while to get used to writing like this and figuring out my handwriting again, but what I wrote was legible, I like to say. The bigger the pen, the better. The smaller it is, the more you can see how messy it is. So I didn't do any bullet journaling while I had these nails on, but at least I could write if needed. Next, let's move on to picking up things. I put it on my laptop so it's a flat surface. If it's not a flat surface, it's easy to pick it up. Something like cash is easy to pick up because you can just like grab it and pinch it together. But cards seem to be difficult, so I wanted to try the coins first. For this, it's fine if you just use the sides of your fingers to pick it up. Maybe you might have to try once or twice, but it's not that bad. If you really get stuck, you can use the side of your nail to kind of flip it up and pick it up. But coins weren't terrible. Cards were more of a bummer because they're a lot flatter. For this, I needed to lift it with the edge of the nail, and for that you kind of need to pin the card somehow and force it upwards and flip it over. So you can stabilize it with the side of your hand and then with the tips of your nails kind of push it up. Maybe if you have another card on your hand, you can use that to pry it up from the other side. It's not that bad, it's functional, it just takes a minute to figure it out. You need to practice a little bit. So the first time you're gonna have to pick up a card, it'll probably be a little embarrassing. I'd rather suggest that you pull the card towards the edge of the table and slide it off and pick it up like that. But I was committed to picking these 3 cards up. I was going to figure it out, and the most frustrating thing is when you successfully pop the card but then you don't catch it and it drops again and you have to start all over. So ideally just don't drop your cards. I then thought it would be fun to try and tie a little bow, and I decided to go with this nice big string so it's not too thin and difficult. And even with this big string and this big loop that I made, I still had difficulty kind of feeding my nails through and finding a place for them to go. So based off of this, I'm going to say it would be pretty hard to tie your shoelaces. Again, it's pretty easy to undo something with these nails, but to tie it up in the first place, that's the difficult part. Even though these nails were essentially built in chopsticks, I wanted to see if I could still use chopsticks, and it was harder than I thought. It took me quite a minute to figure it out. I thought it wouldn't be that bad. I thought I would just have to shift my hand back further than I'm used to so that my nails don't extend past the end of the chopsticks, but the issue ended up more that my nails wanted to go between the chopsticks, and I had a hard time finding a way to pin the chopsticks in my fingers so I can still use them without my nails getting in the way. But I kind of figured something out, which means it is doable with practice. Now for the question that usually comes to mind first when you see someone with long nails like these, how do you use toilet paper? And honestly, I think people are just overthinking this. I actually didn't really have problems with this. You can use any method you choose to hold your toilet paper as I'm showing here. Just make sure you have enough that your nails are also covered. Something that was hard and that I did not expect to be so difficult was finding a way to sleep with my long nails. You don't want pressure on your nails from the top or the bottom because it's uncomfortable. And if you have pressure on your nails for an extended period, like while you're sleeping, it causes a lot of pain. So what I did is I got something flat like this that I can put my hand around, and then I put in a fluffy sock just to make it a bit thicker so my nails weren't pushing on each other. I was trying to demonstrate there that my fingers touching, my nails are kind of colliding, but if they're apart, that's not an issue. The nails are sitting more straight, and then my nails are supported. But I didn't want my nails to catch on anything, so I had my boyfriend help me and put my hand inside a pillow slip and wrap my hand up in that so that my nails were supported from the bottom, nothing can catch under them and lift them, and my nails are supported from the top, because if you do press on the top, it'll just press against the plastic container and it won't cause too much pressure on my nail beds. And it was quite comfortable sleeping like this, surprisingly so, and it was easy to get it off again in the morning. You just need a helping hand to do it. And those are all the things I can think of trying to do while I have long nails. It is quite the experience. There's a lot of stuff you have to learn how to do, but I think the more you do it, you get more used to it. Like, I got used to them pretty quickly. I've only had them for like 3 days and they feel pretty natural until it gets to like going to bed and I need someone to help me. And washing my hair is gonna be a nightmare, so that's that. But let me know what you think. Hopefully I answered all your questions. I did all the things you're curious to seeing. But I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. This was lots of fun. I always enjoy like figuring out things, and this was quite the experience because I like couldn't take a break. And you can't really ask anyone else, because even though people on the internet like myself are telling you how to do things, like you kind of have to personalize them as well. So it was definitely a learning curve, but I hope you enjoyed this journey as much as I enjoyed going on it. Let's hope I can actually get these off without dying and that my nails look nice underneath. And then I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye bye. That's so much fun.